Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I have some Tempest Mark V gameplay for you. I'm actually quite surprised at how much I am liking the Tempest Mark V. Never really bothered flying it, never really bothered upgrading it, so when I started flying this I still had all the default ammo belts. I think I only had things like the radiator and the fuselage repair unlocked. Last time that I can remember actually playing this before I started enjoying it was about 6 months ago. And I just now realized how much fun I've been missing out on. Now, we spot our first target, which is a DDR3 right below us. He is in a good energy state that we can't really dive on him very successfully, but for some reason he decides to go up, and our Hispanos make very, very quick work of him. Now, I decide to go help out my friend in the P51 because he is having some issues with a Yak-9 and an LA-9. The Yak-9 is above us, and it would be most beneficial for him to engage us, but he doesn't do that. He actually goes for the P51 for some reason. So I warn the P51 that there's a Yak-9 behind him, but sadly it doesn't help him very much as he gets taken out. So now I am up here all alone at about 6 kilometers fighting a Yak and a LA-9 on my own. The LA-9 is probably the most dangerous opponent at this altitude in terms of maneuverability. The Yak, I don't think is gonna be that much of a threat. Now I go for a head-on, barely in time. I pull away barely in time for those shots not to connect. Now the Yak-9 decided to go up for me, but I saw that he was in a way inferior energy state. So I go up. This can be very dangerous though, because he still has time to shoot. But there he stalls out already in front of us, so I deploy my flaps, drop throttle to make myself fall quicker, and then go back down on him. Now I do need to keep an eye on that LA-9 because I am fighting 2v1 here, and focusing on one enemy trying to kill it can very easily get you killed by the other. So I'm just kind of spraying here, and I hear the LA-9 coming in. I hear his engine, and I see he's behind me. I split S right in front of him, and what I'm doing now, I'm cutting my throttle because he's already catching up with me, and I'm just evading so that I don't end up in front of his guns. Now he disengages, and I go up after to try and shoot him, and I get some nice critical hits. I try and finish the kill, I set him on fire, and he is as good as done. Now we're gonna go back to the Yak because the Yak is still in the fight as well. Now I see the Yak coming in for me. I evade his shots, and he makes a very shabby approach, and I notice that he has sustained quite a bit of damage to his wing, so he probably won't be that much of an issue for us. I actually managed to get some hits there. I try and go back after him to try and finish him off, try and do some long-range shooting with the Hispanos, which they're quite good at, but he's going so fast right now with the amount of damage he sustained to his wing, it is impossible for him to pull out of that dive, so he rips his wings. Now I'm going to be heading over towards that furball right in front of us, and I will catch up with you guys once we are there. Now while I was making my way over there, we actually spot a Yak-9 coming out of the sun. At this point I am not sure if he is aware of us, but he's right now the prime target to engage because he's on our altitude, and we gotta, the other enemies, they're at low altitude, so they don't pose a threat to us. This guy does, however. He turns in to get some shots on. I try and do some head-on shots as well. None of our shots connect. I do have a Spitfire friend here with me, but I'm not going to rely on him too much because people in this game can sadly be quite disappointing. Now, our Spitfire gets some shots on the Yak-9. I have no clue if any of those connected. Honestly, they should have, because I was baiting him. He was in a low energy state and he should have been very easy to shoot. Now I do the same that I did before, cut my throttle, use my flaps, and I take a quick burst, but at this range it's no use. I'm not going to waste any more ammo on him than I already have. So I am going to disengage from this fight and go help out my P-51 in front of us, because he is fighting another Yak. And plus, the Yak 9 has the Spitfire on his 6 now. So I make my way over towards my P-51 friend. I do notice that the Spitfire might not be that safe than I would have initially guessed. But the P-51 actually has 2 people on his 6, so I kind of really have to help this guy out. I go down to kill the Yak 3. He doesn't seem to be really aware of us. Now he is, but it's just way too late. Way too late, way too low energy for him to properly maneuver. Now I go back on the Yak 9 that we were engaging earlier, because he is in a very good position for us to attack. We have a lot more energy than him, and he's turning. He is preoccupied and has no clue that we're here. He just flies straight for some reason, and that's just a very easy kill. No need to waste a whole lot of ammo on him. Now, the Yak 3 that was on the P-51 earlier is still alive as well. And we also spot another Yak 3, which is quite far away, so we're not going to bother with him right now. Now I go down on this Yak 3, he evades downwards. I see out of the corner of my eye that my Spitfire friend is really quite close to me, so I gotta keep an eye on that, so I disengage. I'll let him finish him off if he can. And I'm gonna go engage the other Yak right in front of us, which is now not that far away anymore. Just a little less than 4 kilometers. So I look back and I see that our Spitfire actually has disengaged the Yak 3. No clue why, but the Yak 3 actually crashes for whatever reason. Maybe he was damaged, and for some reason the Spitfire didn't get credited with the kill. Sadly, we shall never know. Now, there is a Yak 3 below us. I go down on him, and he actually pulls a very aggressive move. He goes up to try and shoot me, and I got caught completely off guard, so he could have actually very easily killed me there. Now, after that maneuver, obviously he has lost all of his energy. He has to go back down. I snipe his tail controls, do some quick snipes, and I completely mess him up. Now, I zoom back up, and we actually spot the last guy, an LA7. That is probably getting back into the fight after he has rearmed. Now, after that dive on the Yak 3 that we just recently initiated, I actually have quite a bit of energy, so I am actually in a higher energy state. He is coming up towards me. I try and evade the shots, but he does manage to connect some of the shots. But our Spitfire makes short work of him, setting him on fire, and thereby killing the last enemy on their team. Now, that was it for today's gameplay. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.